Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of this Lionel train set restoration project. So I'm going to get back to, so in the last video I fixed the coupler on this tank car and repaired the caboose. So today I'm going to tackle some other parts of the project. So as you all probably remember, when I tested this thing out the other day, the whistling tender did not work. And as you can see, the shell's still pretty dirty. So today I'm going to take this tender apart and see if I can fix it and make the whistle work again. And also clean up the shell a bit more while I'm at it. I might actually wash the shell while it's off. Alright, so let's get going. Okay, so let's get this thing apart. I'll need to find a good screwdriver to use for this. Alright. I need a smaller screwdriver. Alright, so I think I got this thing apart. One thing I wanted to show you all though is look at this wire right here. It's like missing some of the outer casing, so that will definitely need to be fixed. Whether I end up patching it up with some electrical tape or whether I end up just replacing the whole wire, I'm going to need to find some way to fix that. Or maybe putting some shrink tubing. We'll find out. Regardless, yeah, we got this thing apart. Let's see if we can get the shell off. Ah, there we go. Now, let's clean this shell up. Alright, that looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? So I'm going to let this thing dry out in the sun for a little bit while I see if I can figure out how to get that whistle working. Alright, so let's see what we can figure out here. So, how this thing works, I think there's an electromagnet and there's a little motor in there that turns this fan that blows air through it. So what I want to figure out is what's stopping it from working. Is it just like seized, or maybe I should try taking this motor apart here. Actually, not yet. I want to figure something else. I want to figure out if this thing even turns. Okay, yeah, it kind of does turn, but it's definitely like stiff. Maybe if I just spin it a little bit, I'll get it to work. You know what? I want to try something. Alright, so I set up some track here. Again, this is not the track from this set. This is from another set, but I do have the transformer from this set hooked up. And I'm going to try testing the whistle function again. It could be the transformer, not the... Oops. Alright, I might crack this motor open now. Alright. Oh my. Yeah. Okay, there's the brushes. Yeah, that motor shaft was like really stiff on there. I might actually need to get this bit off too to make things a little easier to access. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, yeah, I could try cleaning the oh yeah, those brushes really need to be cleaned. So I might clean those and the commutator a bit. Let's see, does this motor turn? Yes, it does turn. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to try cleaning the commutator and brushes and seeing if that helps. Alright, so I'm going to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and some Q-tips to clean the commutator and the brushes. Alright, so let's see how much cleaner we can get these. Oh my. Yeah, these might actually need to be replaced at some point. I might have to look into how much new ones cost. Oh yeah, there's carbon all over the shaft of the motor and things. Yeah, I'm guessing somebody blew this whistle quite a bit due to the amount of carbon and stuff I'm seeing on there. Well, I'm not going to lie, the whistle is probably the most fun part of the set. And honestly, back in 1946, you had to pay extra to get this. This is the 1405W set. The normal 1405 set did not have the working whistle in the tender. The W is actually for the whistle. And this cost a few extra dollars, which back then was a big deal. Alright. But yeah, this thing's obviously been sitting for years, because if you look closely, you can actually see where the brushes were touching on there. So yeah, this thing definitely hasn't, this motor hasn't turned in decades, I'd imagine. Alright, let me very gently clean the gaps here. Oh yeah, those are full of carbon. Yuck. Look at all that. That is gross. Yeah, it's no wonder this thing wasn't working. Alright. And yeah, the inside of that is kind of dirty. I'm going to try to clean that the best I can. Alright, let me clean that brush a little bit. Let me clean this brush. And just the inside of there. Alright. Let's put these back in. Let's, alright, let's get that back on there. This cover back on. There we go. Now let's put these screws back in. All right. Let's put this one back in there. All right. So now that's back on there. Now, I might just put a teeny tiny bit of, put like a drop of oil on each of these motor bearings. Not a lot, just a tiny, teeny bit. A little bit on that side. A little bit on this side. I need to wipe that off, that was a little too much. Now I might just turn this a little bit just to kind of let it, work its Way around. All right, let's try this again. All right, we got it plugged back down. Let's try again. Nope, still nothing. All right, let me try turning this wall again. Come on. Do I even hear a sound? No, I'm not hearing any buzzing or humming, so I'm assuming the motor's probably not getting power somehow. Maybe it's the transformer, but I want to look into this a little more. Alright, so let's see if we can figure this out. So, what is everything that could be wrong? Yeah, those wires definitely don't look safe to me. I'll have to probably replace those. You know what? I may just need to rewire this before it can work. Alright, so to eliminate whether the motor is the problem or not, I'm going to put some power directly to the motor to see what happens here. Alright, let's see. Interesting. Something's, okay, it's like sparking. Alright, so what I'm going to need to do now is I'm going to need to remove these two wires going here so I can take this out as well as replace these wires, because as you can see, yeah, those are pretty far gone. Alright, so let's get going with that. Alright, I'm hoping I didn't just burn a hole through the plastic underneath there. So I got these wires disconnected. This unit is off. Now, I think I need to remove the trucks. There we go. Got those off. So now I think I'm going to clean this part up a bit. Clean these off and... oh, right, yeah. Gotta remember that that goes there. And then I gotta remove these wires somehow and attach new ones. Alright, so this coupler piece that attaches the tender to the locomotive is actually pretty bent, so I think I'm going to need to straighten that piece out. Okay, that's not perfect, but it might do for now. I might have to readjust it again a bit later. Okay, now, time to get these wires off of here and then make some new ones. Just burned myself on the soldering iron right there. Whoops. Hopefully I'll be okay. can't say that my soldering job is perfect, but hopefully that'll do for now. Now, let's start getting this thing back together. Alright, I'm going to try putting power to the motor one more time now that there's no wires or anything touching anywhere else. Nope. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I think that's an electromagnet, which means I might have to try putting power to a different... Let's see, what happens if I put it here? Oop, that probably wasn't a good idea. Alright, time to reinstall this back on. I still haven't quite gotten it to work, but I think I'm just going to reinstall it and do some testing after that. Okay, to be honest, I can't say I'm the best at soldering, but hopefully this will do for now. Now, just need to make sure these are enough out of the way before I try to fasten anything on. You know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and put a couple screws back in and try testing this thing out once again. You know what? Just to confirm that it's definitely not the transformer that's the problem, I think I'm going to test this thing out by touching these transformer wires to these pickups on the bottom. Nope. Oh, something's happening. It's like, I hear a humming coming from there. Alright, let's try this. Come on. I know you can work. You're an old Lionel. Oh! There's something. Oh! Something's happening. I think it's starting to turn. Yep, it's turning, it's doing it! Alright, I just tried loosening the screws on the covers to make sure I wasn't seizing the motor. Alright. Oh. Oh, smoking there for a second. But it turned. Hope I didn't just burn it out. Alright, let me try this. Oh, there we go. The motor is coming on. I was touching the wires wrong. Well, everybody, it turns out I'm just an amateur. I was doing it wrong. I wasn't putting any AC power through the track. Watch what happens if I do this. There we go. It whistles. So I guess this was a me problem the whole time. Well, it was good to clean out all these parts, and I am glad I replaced those wires. They did need to be replaced, but it turns out this thing does work. Okay, so I guess it's time to put this thing back together. Alright, after much struggling, I got it back together. It was my fault. I kept putting the screws in the wrong spots. Thankfully, I didn't do any serious damage. If I had done more, I probably would have ruined everything. So, Good thing nothing worse happened. Alright, I'm going to show you this thing whistling one more time, and then that might be all for this part of the restoration. Alright, let's see this thing whistle one more time. Awesome. Alright, so with that, I want to thank you all for watching. And stay tuned, because I got another part coming up. I'm going to be working on the locomotive next. And God bless.